France will be cutting the number of visas granted for 3 North African nations after it was revealed that hardly any illegals from the 3 countries were deported this year. The French government is set to reduce the number of newly granted visas to Morocco and Algeria by 50% and Tunisia by 30% as the 3 countries have largely refused to take back their nationals who are living in France illegally. In the case of Algeria alone, broadcaster Europe 1 reports that of the 7,731 of the country's nationals eligible for deportation between January and July of this year, just 22 were sent back, around 0.2% overall. According to the broadcaster, Algeria, in particular, refuses to grant an emergency passport, or laissez-passer, to their nationals, which has prevented deportations. Meanwhile, the number of visas granted for Algerians stood at 8,726, massively down from the 274,555 requested prior to the coronavirus pandemic in 2019. The figures for Morocco are not much better, with just 80 Moroccan migrants being deported earlier this year out of a total of 3,301 who had an obligation to leave French territory, just 2.4%. Tunisia, which saw the highest number of deportations, had 131 nationals returned out of 3,424 who were eligible, 4%. According to Europe 1, the French government has made numerous attempts to increase deportations to the 3 North African countries, including political dialogue and making aid conditional on deportation numbers, but has finally decided to reduce the number of visas that will be granted. In June, President Emmanuel Macron ordered his ministers to do more to ensure that radicalized illegal immigrants were being deported to their home countries. At least 1,000 illegals are on France's Terrorist Radicalization Prevention Report Index, FSRPT, anti-terrorism watch list, according to Interior Minister Gerald Darmanin. Deportations have been made even more difficult by the coronavirus pandemic, as some migrants have refused COVID tests in order to prevent deportation.